What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Jay Sean. Natty!
Oh, sorry. It's been a while since I've done this. My name is Nathan Wright, but you guys can call me Natty.
And joining us today, we have a very special guest, a friend of ours, great friend. You've actually seen him in a couple of our videos in the past. We've been on some videos of his. He is one of the owners / creators of the great esteemed YouTube channel, The Anime Egotist. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Foster. Foster, go ahead and introduce yourself.
What is going on, you guys?
Oh my goodness.
It's good, yet as you can see, Naro and I were at Titan Towers. Things are kind of crazy here. Like,
just go ahead and grab the briefcase.
I've seen about 40 people fall off, and most of them were production people. So
they're expendable.
They are. You know what? Let's teleport out of here. I think we're good. We know exactly how to win this match.
Good. That teleportation was really blending in with your eyes and your teeth. And
yeah. But regardless, I am Foster, and I am the owner of the Anime Egotist, where our opinions don't matter, but they still matter more than you guys. Funny how that works.
Oh, I'm washed out again. Hold on. Turn that down a little bit. Haha! All right, and welcome back to What the Wrestling. Today we are here for the 2020 Money in the Bank predictions. We are going to go run through the show, including the 2 matches that were added here. I think today we're recording this on Saturday. Going to be uploaded early Sunday. We're gonna get things going. Before we do that, how you guys feeling for this show? This is going to be the second show that they've run without a crowd. Well, the second pay-per-view show they've run without a crowd. I believe they've already recorded a couple of the matches, if not all of them. And
the whole thing's been filmed already, supposedly.
Well, yeah, so they're just going to go ahead and bring it out tomorrow. How excited are you guys? I know I'm pretty excited, just because we saw how well they were able to put together WrestleMania, so I'm kind of excited. What about you?
I'd say I'm at about like a 7.5. Like, I'm excited, but my thing is I'm more curious, because if they shoot the Money in the Banks matches similar to the Firefly Funhouse match or the Boneyard match, then I'm going to be super into it. But if they do it the same style as, say, Edge and Orton, I'm not really sure I'm going to be as excited about it.
45 minutes. 45 minutes. The whole all the matches are 40. All the matches are going to be 45 minutes.
I mean, let's be honest though. For Money in the Bank, 45 minutes in Titan Tower, going up the entire building. I wouldn't be against that entirely.
I don't know.
Okay, before we jump into.
I was gonna say, I love, there's a lot of things about WWE that I don't like as much as like other companies, but long matches is just one of those things that it really, I don't know, 40+ minute matches. I don't really like when New Japan does them that often, and I don't really like when WWE tries to do them. So 20, 30-ish minutes, maybe even five, just 5 minutes of a ladder match. That can work. That can work.
Lord have mercy. But how we're going to run this down, we're going to run down the show. We're going to do a pre-show, and then we're going to just run the show. Hopefully, this is based on a match card that I saw online, and I believe this is the accurate match card, how it's going to actually go. And we know that they said they're doing the women and the men's battle royal match. Money in the Bank matches at the same time.
So Otis can win both of them.
But we're going to treat them as 2 separate predictions. For the sake of predictions. So we're going to jump right into it. We're going to start with the pre-show. Jeff Hardy versus Cesaro. I am going to pick, I'm picking Jeff Hardy. They just brought him back. They've been running these videos for him for the past several weeks. And they're building him versus Sheamus. And I just think that right now it's going to be him. So. Jeff Hardy.
Does Jeff Hardy come out to one of the songs by his band?
I really hope so. If he doesn't come out to No More Words, I'm gonna cry. I might really just cry. I've been a fan of his since I literally started watching wrestling, and then he debuted No More Words, and I was like, it's even better.
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. His band. I mean, the band he sings in, not the one that does No More Words.
What is this? Impact Wrestling? No, he's not coming out with one of the songs that his band does.
Creatures of the night. I don't know the words.
I will say they did have his band playing in that Hardy Compound Halloween special.
Modest to the top.
I mean, it is what it is. We have the stories where he's tried to get his band to do stuff before with WWE, and they kind of always shut him down. So, yeah, I mean,
regardless, I don't think he's coming back with No More Words. I feel like that's something that they talked about, and then this whole epidemic thing started, and they're all just like, "Oh, we forgot about that." Sucks. But yeah, I say Jeff Hardy wins. Cesaro takes a loss because, Cesaro just takes a loss.
He can eat a loss. He can eat a loss right now.
Yeah,
I feel like
fine. He's fine. He's
right.
not going to be.
What about you, Natty? What do you think?
I think that I agree with you guys. Jeff Hardy's definitely going to get the win. I don't think it's leaning toward anything with Sheamus. I think that was just a way to properly reintroduce Jeff Hardy. And this match, it's a pre-show match. It's just basically for those that are interested in the pay-per-view to reintroduce them that don't watch WWE Weekly. So Jeff Hardy's back. He gets the win.
All
right, next match.
All right, next match, and this is a regular main card match, is going to be R-Truth versus MVP. Now, this one, when I saw this one pop up, I was just like, this is so left field. Like, I feel like it was like, oh, they realized that they didn't have enough time to fill out their normal pay-per-view timing. So they were like, ooh, let's just add R-Truth and MVP in the mix. Give them a little payday. Give them an extra pay-per-view payday real quick.
Does R-Truth come out rapping considering there's nobody in the audience?
Yes.
Oh, he definitely does.
I feel like he's going to come out rapping, and he's going to do the whole stick. He's going to be, what's up? And when he reaches for the crowd, nothing. Like there's going to be the musical stop and everything. He'll be like, what's up?
No, you watch. He does the "What's up," and Michael Cole's the one that responds with "What's up."
I was going to say Byron. Byron since he said "Hell yeah" to Stone Cold.
Yo, that
and took a Stone Cold stunner kick to the groin.
Yo, that was man, I felt bad.
Yeah. We stand Byron Saxton in this household.
Wait, Byron Saxton's in the household? Where?
Oh God.
Regardless, though, who's your pick?
My pick is MVP, but I'm picking him because of his two. What would you call it? Lackeys?
Let's just say associates.
That's probably the better term.
His two associates. I feel like they've been given a chance to kind of be shown on Raw in recent weeks. They picked up a win here and there. I feel like MVP is going to take the win, and then afterwards we're gonna get. They're going to be beating up R-Truth, and then Ricochet and Cedric Alexander are going to come out and be like,
"Ooh,
no, you're not going to beat up R-Truth like this." And it's not going to lead to a six-man match, but it'll lead to kind of one of those standoff moments where we're just like, ooh, what happened next?
It'll lead to a six-man tag on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
I think R-Truth's winning this. I like the idea of Shane Thorne and Brendan getting involved. Kind of the reason because I said it in the last recording. They didn't need to know about that. I just wanted to throw you under the bus for it.
Why are you like this, bro? Why?
My parents either didn't love me enough or they loved me too much. Either way.
I'm going with the second option.
Either way, I think Shane Thorne and Brendan Vink are probably just going to be backstage. I don't think they want to get them too involved with stuff just yet, despite the fact they just got to win on Raw. So I'm going to say if MVP wins, it's not going to be clean, but I'm still picking R-Truth. R-Truth's a more long-term investment in ring than MVP is.
Yes, R-Truth may be the longer one in ring, but you know who's even got a longer reign in ring? It would be freaking Shane Thorne and Vink. The fact that MVP is probably going to be there, and those two will probably be with them. It's going to give MVP the win in the long run because MVP is going to be like wrestler manager more or less for those guys. Those guys are gonna. I'm not gonna say they're gonna get pushed to move, but they're gonna get some definite time. That's why I think MVP is gonna get the win just based on like association to them.
You clearly don't watch enough New Japan, and the longer wrestler and the being the manager have nothing to do with winning. But it's a different company. I can see that. Sure, you guys are with MVP. I'm picking R-Truth. Either way, the black guy is winning this match. I'm happy.
Yes.
Am I
You know
wrong?
what? Nope. You're not wrong, and I'm not even going to say that. We're just going to move right on to the next match here, which is the first championship match on the night. It is the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. The host for this one, because this is a mouthful.
Wait a second, time out. Before you start that one, you're telling me that R-Truth versus MVP is not for the European 48?
No, it's not. Let's move
Rock
on.
still has the title.
I know. Go on.
I knew we shouldn't have invited you. All right. The New Day versus the Miz and Morrison versus the Forgotten Sons versus Lucha House Party in a fatal four-way first to pin or submit their opponent SmackDown Tag Team Championship match.
Okay, so somebody said this a while ago, and I just have to ask: Lucha House Party, is that the best or worst tag team name ever? Because I still can't tell.
You know, I'm gonna
It's
say
a little bit of both, I say.
right. I think if their gimmick involved more partying, it would have been better.
I mean, there are different kinds of parties.
Yeah, but can I go first on this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I don't think the Forgotten Sons are getting these belts. Of
Right.
course, the second I say that, they're probably going to end up winning, and I'm going to be completely shocked. But I don't think they're winning. I think this is the best they've been treated since ever. I think they've been treated far better on SmackDown than they have on NXT, where all they did was hang out in a junkyard and pin like a bunch of nobodies. That being said, though, I don't think Forgotten Sons are winning. I don't think Lucha House Party is winning purely based on the fact that Kalisto is still out with an injury, and maybe they'd want to hold off on that just for a little bit. So I think I'm just going to go with New Day retaining, and then Miz and Morrison can still say, yeah, but you still never beat us one-on-one for the titles, and then they can have one more match down the line while Lucha House Party and Forgotten Sons fight against each other.
Oof. Okay, that's fair. What about you, Natty?
Well, actually, I want you to go with your option first.
I'm going New Day just because I feel like right now there's not really a very consistent, like, one, there's not a lot of tag teams that they could really like tell a story with or like run that story. Like, yeah, after it's over, we could get New Day versus Lucha House Party one-on-one. Cool. We could get New Day versus Forgotten Sons one-on-one. Cool. They'll probably hold off on that until Xavier Woods comes back so they can have the trio versus the trio, but still. And it's just like, Miz and Morrison, they've been running that one since before Mania. They're about to split them up at least until SummerSlam. So I think New Day can hold it. They'll probably run it down until, again, like SummerSlam or whatever, and then go from there. So New Day is my pick.
All right, so you both are going with New Day. Now, the logical pick for me was to agree with you guys and go with New Day. I'm not logical here. I think that with the inclusion of the two teams are just there as kind of to make sure that New Day watches, they have to watch their back constantly because that means a fatal four-way straight up. I think that through some shenanigans, I think Miz and Morrison are going to get the belts back so they can continue this storyline with New Day. Decide they can get that one-on-one because I think it'd be a lot more interesting. I think it's also, just based on the athleticism of Morrison alone, no disrespect to any of the other teams. I think that straight up they're going to want Miz and Morrison to have the belts for a little bit longer, kind of keep up that storyline and garner a one-on-one reaction or one-on-one matchup for the New Day. Because I don't think Miz and Morrison are going to be the ones that are going to go right up to New Day and say, we want those belts. We deserve those belts one-on-one. I think it's one of those, they're going to steal the belts from either Lucha House Party or Forgotten Sons, and New Day's going to be like, we never lost the belts. We want that one-on-one.
I guess.
All right, but before we move on, question, not necessarily something that's on the card, but something that's been popping up for SmackDown recently. In terms of the Hacker, or hackers. Do you think there could be more than one?
Nah.
Possibly.
So, hypothetically, let's pretend we know there's more than one. Do you think they would go after the tag titles?
Maybe.
Nah.
Yeah, because we've seen the hacker sort of things. It shows New Day. It shows Dana and Carmella. It at one point showed Sasha and Bayley. It's showing all these tag teams specifically. So it makes me wonder, are there multiple people behind the scenes hacking into the show and maybe becoming like a almost sort of hacker-esque tag team and maybe going after the belts?
Right.
I don't know. It's something to think about. Maybe it's not just one hacker. Maybe it's multiple.
Maybe.
It could be.
God, you got to think. Vince McMahon must be one of the worst bosses in history if he's just letting somebody hack his show and no one's they're not even addressing it.
No,
Nope,
no.
no, they're not.
Maybe it's one of the cruiserweights saying, "Yeah, this is what you get for making us wrestle in poor crowds, you son of a bitch."
Yeah, I wonder which cruiserweight it could be.
Do you know what he's talking? Do you know what he's talking about? I don't.
Anyways, let's move on with the card.
It would be. That being said, though, I need Mustafa Ali to do something. If he's the hacker, I need him. If he's the hacker, I need him to make up for last year's Money in the Bank because
yes, sir. Yes.
Long-term storytelling. So the next match.
Next, we have Bayley versus Tamina for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
This match isn't happening.
Honestly, I'm gonna go with Tamina. I'm actually gonna go with Tamina here.
Okay, reason.
My reasoning is because what we're going to do here, what we're going to play into, Tamina's gonna get the title. She's gonna hold it for a little while. She's gonna face Sasha Banks in a couple weeks, maybe at the next pay-per-view. Loses it to Sasha. Sasha has the title. Sasha holds the title. Her and Bayley are going to have a SummerSlam story where they're facing each other for the title. They've been teasing it for weeks. And I think this would be the logical step in order to get it there without them having to kind of like slingshot and like super hyper mega fast way push this story and make it just kind of, because WWE has this thing where they love to just kind of throw all their eggs in one basket and just do everything really quickly. They're not very big on long-term storytelling. So if they give Tamina the belt, they can really stretch out the story for the next like 2 months in order to bring it down to SummerSlam. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay, I'm going based off of wrestling. First of all, I'm just going to be 1,000% honest. I do not care about this match. I don't really care about anything. I don't care about Bayley. I don't care about Sasha. I don't really care about Tamina all that much. Even though her Twitter game is impressive.
No, her Twitter and Instagram, like that's another reason why I want her to win, because her Twitter and Instagram game are the best. They are top tier. Like those videos she's been putting out are amazing.
That being said, though, Tamina's kind of been owning Bayley and Sasha pretty much ever since she became the #1 contender. And they're kind of teasing dissension between Bayley and Sasha. That being said, though, I feel like Sasha's still getting that belt off of Bayley at some point. So it'll make the fans happy. Sasha will become like a sort of baby face, even though everybody seems to hate her as a baby face, so I'm not really sure why you're rooting for that. But I feel like she's gonna be the one to take the belt off of Bayley. But until then, I feel like they don't take Tamina seriously enough for more than a couple of weeks. I think Bayley's winning pretty much without a shadow of a doubt.
Okay, then. What about you, Natty?
So I'm going to argue that they have been taking her serious for more than just a couple weeks. Keep in mind, she was in that Fatal 5-Way at freaking WrestleMania.
And so she was the first person eliminated.
That's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that she was in the first place says something, all right? Because you realize how hard it is for some of these, lower card women, I should say, to get any sort of spotlight with.
Yes, and Dan Matha was in the Greatest Royal Rumble. Doesn't really
Again,
add
that's a different story. That's a whole different story right there.
Mm-hmm.
A whole different country.
Exactly, a whole different country. Doesn't count. Anyways.
Progressive.
No, I have Geico. Anyways, joking.
Just go. Just go.
Nope, he's muted for that. I'm muting him for that. No.
I didn't know we could do that. Sweet.
I can't because I'm hosting.
What's that, Nate? What's that, Natty? What's that, Natty? You said.
Can't mute me. No.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so Natty said he's rooting
Tamina!
for Tamina. Okay, good. Tamina.
Muted again. There we go.
Next.
Tamina. We're going on to
next match. Next match. Tamina. Next.
Next match is the Universal Championship. Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt. Note, Bray Wyatt, not the Fiend. But since it has been, pre-recorded, all that good stuff, I'll save that. I will save that for later. My pick.
Just keep talking. Just keep talking. Please, just keep talking.
My pick. Really? I'm gonna say my pick is Bray Wyatt.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick Bray Wyatt on this one. I feel like because of the story they've been trying to tell and the story that they're running with Bray and Braun, with the whole "follow me, I can save you," this, that, and the other. And if you really want to look at it, they're kind of doing the same thing with Seth and they're kind of doing the same thing with Seth and
Drew.
Drew, thank you. I lost my train of thought. Seth and Drew, they're doing the same thing, but with two different terms here because Bray Wyatt thinks he's this godly figure.
Yeah, one's a scary cult leader, and the other is Bray Wyatt.
And see, exactly. So I feel like they're doing kind of the same thing with the whole "I can save you from this." Ooh, so I think Bray will take the win, and he'll get the Universal Championship. Where he's gonna go with it, I'll never know, but it is what it is. That's my prediction.
Okay. I also predict Bray Wyatt to win, but note, I said to win the match. I don't expect him to win the championship. But here's the thing. I see this. Look, people have always complained about the way they've booked Braun Strowman. I'm not necessarily in disagreement. He probably should have been the world champion 2 times over by this point.
Yes. But
they don't exactly like to bitch him out too often. Every now and then they'll restart and then they'll shoot him down. But it's not it. My point being, I don't think this is going to be a one event thing. I feel like Bray's going to win by maybe disqualification or something like that. Or maybe even just a flat-out no contest. Kind of like what happened at Hell in a Cell, and everybody crapped all over it until it kind of added to a long-term storytelling of a Seth heel turn. So I'm going to say Bray wins by DQ.
Okay. Well, so as we all know, this is going to be Bray Wyatt going up against Braun Strowman. So
why would you take them out of the box?
Because I always do. I enjoy them out of the box. I'm not looking to resell these, Jay. If that's what
it's not even about reselling. Oh my god.
Either way, that's aside from the point. This isn't a Funko Pop podcast. This is WWE podcast.
Well, wrestling, but sure. Anyways, continue, please.
So I'm actually. I like where you guys are going. I think that this is definitely setting up for something long term. However, that being said, I think that the winner is going to be Braun Strowman, mainly just based on the fact that I'm sorry. I'll put them away so I don't hurt Jay anymore. Anyways, no, I'm going with Braun Strowman with this one because he just won the belt from Goldberg. He needs a strong outing, and as Joe emphasized, this is not supposed to be, or this is, what was I going to say? Oh, this is not the Fiend Bray Wyatt. This is just straight up regular Bray Wyatt. If this was the Fiend, it'd be a whole other different story. That being said, after Braun Strowman gets the win, they're going to do the normal lights going out, lights coming back up, and the Fiend will appear. I think they're going to do something like that to where they're going to tease, Braun Strowman, and the Fiend's going to attack. They're going to tease something to where the Fiend is up front, right in Braun Strowman's face, where they have to set up that next match.
Does Braun feel, hypothetically, even if Braun wins, does he still feel like a transitional champion? Because he feels, I don't know, it feels like he's supposed to be the biggest drawing point in the show, but I just don't feel anything. It's just
he feels like a placeholder. He doesn't even feel like a transitional. He feels like one of those guys that's like, oh crap, we needed to get the belt off of the whoever was holding it, so we need to put it on somebody else, just until we can figure out somewhere else we're gonna go with the belt. And so we just put it on the first person that walked down the hallway. That's what it feels like to me, and I hate it because I'm a huge fan of Braun Strowman, and I love the guy. I love his character. If I were the one booking WWE, he'd still be the Intercontinental Champion, honestly. But
That's right, he was Intercontinental Champion.
it is.
See. Remember, he also got a championship belt for winning the Greatest Royal Rumble, and no one remembers that either.
I remember. Nobody brings it up. It sucks.
I will say, well, sorry, when it comes to Braun Strowman, I feel like the issue is not the fact that he only feels like a placeholder or a transitional champion because his next opponent is freaking Bray Wyatt. Everybody wants the belt on Bray Wyatt because we know how incredible he could be with that belt.
I want the belt on Dexter Lumis, but whatever.
But let's say Dexter Lumis is the next one to challenge, or it could be like Morrison or Baron Corbin, someone challenging Braun Strowman other than Bray Wyatt. If it was anyone other than Bray Wyatt, we would feel more confident about Braun Strowman keeping the belt.
Oh, no. Baron Corbin has screwed me so many times. I'm convinced he could win that belt at some point.
But you see, okay, so Baron Corbin screwed Braun Strowman out of that belt. That's why Braun would have so much rage, like just built up, ready to destroy him limb from limb, okay?
Okay, no. Here's the thing. I understand everything both of you are saying, but I find it so interesting that you guys are like, you see, this would make sense for storytelling purposes. This is what they could be doing for all the stuff. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, you know what? That's all cool. But this is what they're probably going to do.
Every time.
That's why I said what I think's going to happen is going to happen, all right? The whole entire freaking Bray Wyatt Fiend tease after the match.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because everyone's just like, this is what I think should happen. I'm just like, wrestling companies don't care. Half the time we're watching them, I'm just like, it's not happening. It's not happening.
Right, but to get back to it. So it's Bray, Foster, you said Bray, and Natty, you said Bray as well?
And I said Braun.
And you said Braun. Okay, you're the odd man out on this one. All right. But going on to our...
To be honest, though, remember, Bray, as the Firefly Funhouse Bray, he's undefeated. He beat The Miz.
He did beat The Miz.
So if you think about it, Firefly Funhouse Bray has a better record than The Fiend does.
Okay, well, you know what? We're not going to go there. We're moving on. We're moving on. I'm not having this discussion.
The sweater gives him power.
I've been hurt enough because the thing over here took the freaking bump. I can't even say it. I'm so upset with you.
I'm sorry.
Pops.
Anyway, I'm not getting into it. All right. Next, we have Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship.
Me.
You know what? No, Foster, you can go first. All right.
Can I just say it's so refreshing to see a face champion who doesn't feel like a placeholder. Like,
yes,
all these times I've said stuff like, I love Rey Mysterio, and I love, if he were to get another world title reign, I wouldn't question it. But the second he gets that belt, I'm going to think to myself, he's not as interesting. A lot of good guys aren't as interesting when they have the belt. They're better at chasing it.
It's because once they get the belt, they have nothing else to do. They pretty much have done what they said they were going to do. Like, I won the championship. What else is there? Like, the last time I think there was a good babyface champion was John Cena. And when I say that, I mean like John Cena United States Championship. Because when he had that belt, he didn't make it about, now I'm the champion, I have nothing left to do. He made it about, I have the championship, now I'm going to do what I am as a champion. I'm going to give anybody who wants the match. I'm going to give anybody a chance if they want a championship.
I miss John Cena.
And that was great. It was great.
I'm sorry, who are you talking about? Because I'm pretty sure whoever you're talking about got erased about a month ago.
Ooh.
Yeah, who are you talking about? Let's just talk about that NWO dude.
I do wonder how open challenges work. Is it just a mad scramble backstage? Do people just charge at the music guy?
I would love that. I would really love to see that. Either way. My pick is Drew McIntyre. After he claymores Buddy Murphy. Oh, I'm sorry. Just Murphy. He doesn't have that first name anymore. The buddy named Murphy. After he claymores him, and then he's going to turn around and claymore Seth Rollins. And then he's going to keep his belt.
Okay, so I don't think Drew. Obviously, I think Drew's winning. But
Right.
my thing is, I've been praising Drew because he's charismatic. He's great at wrestling. He's good at talking. He can turn any man gay just by all you have to do is look at him, just by existing. But I also want to talk about Seth. This is the most invested I've ever been in Seth Rollins. And I've said before, I wasn't a big fan of Authority Seth Rollins. I thought the interferences on his part just weren't all that interesting. But I love Messiah Seth Rollins. I think he's been doing excellent character work.
Honestly, chicken shit heel Seth Rollins was good because he made it convincing that he would just chicken shit. He didn't want to fight. He would do any kind of underhanded thing that he could to win a championship. But for a aggressive mob owner, mafioso type heel, this has been, yes, the best Seth Rollins we've seen in the heel character since he left the Shield.
Yeah, and honestly, he's the perfect foil for Drew because it actually feels like the most hated villain in the company is going up against the most beloved good guy in the company. Especially when you have Drew saying stuff like, well, thank you, Seth, and I just want to say you're completely full of shit.
You're completely full of shit. I love that.
That being said, though, I think Drew is winning this. I think maybe they have one more match afterwards, and Drew wins that. That being said, though, I kind of want to wonder what happens with Seth after this because one of the authors of Pain is hurt. Murphy can't keep taking beatings. Well, he obviously could, but I feel like he's going to want to fortify his faction, and I actually have a name for somebody.
Ooh.
Who's somebody who for the longest time thought they were doing the right thing, but were actually chicken shit heels who were hated by the fans.
Jason Jordan?
Oh, now I miss Jason Jordan. No, it's not. It's not Jason Jordan. Bo Dallas.
Yeah, he's still with the company, isn't he?
Think about it this way. Remember the inspirational Bo Dallas on SmackDown. He'd always try to help people. He would always get beat.
Is bowling.
Ow.
I remember my ex. I remember I had an ex who hated that. Not even the character. Literally just whenever he said Bo Lee because of the way he said it.
Yeah, and he got so hated because of it. There were people in NXT who would literally turn their back on him. And they didn't look at him, they booed him, and they told him, Bo, leave. I know we don't have a crowd yet. Obviously, we don't have a crowd yet. We're not going to have a crowd for a good while longer. But Bo, as that character, would just be so perfect as basically the ass-kissing person of Seth. And he can sort of take more of the bumps. Meanwhile, maybe he and Murphy can form a tag team while Seth goes after the big stuff. That being said, though, Drew wins. He faces Seth again at some point, and then we get Drew versus the Jinder.
Yes.
The modern day Maharaja.
I should have worn that shirt. Anyways, for me, I'm just going to go with the safe option here, and I'm going to say that Drew McIntyre wins via DQ. I think there is going to be interference by the disciple Murphy. So just based on that alone, it leads to a DQ. It leads to the next pay-per-view having the official blow-off match, maybe a no DQ match, to where it'll make Drew look strong because he has to fend off both Seth Rollins and effectively Murphy as well.
I could see that, yeah. Do you think, this is kind of a random throwaway question, but you think Andrade's group gets involved at any point?
Not in this match, no.
Okay.
Maybe at some point down the line, but not this match.
As long as they're not the ones kidnapping people in NXT, that's...
As long as Andrade still has the U.S. title, he's not going for the big belt just yet.
Yeah. All right. So we got Drew.
Yep.
All righty.
Different circumstances, the same one.
Drew Train.
Drew.
Completely different Drew wrestler, but still.
All righty. We're gonna break these up and be separate predictions. But the first is the men's battle. Wow. Men Money in the Bank. That's the second time I've done that. Men Money in the Bank ladder match. We got Daniel Bryan taking on Rey Mysterio, taking on Aleister Black, taking on King Corbin, taking on Otis, taking on the undead immortal AJ Styles. This man was literally buried alive and said, "I was buried alive. So what?
I had to deal with Claire Lynch. This is nothing compared to that."
Okay, one second, Jay. I just gotta say, the fact that you kept saying Battle Royale for this stuff, that would be kind of hard in this kind of scenario, considering the fact that the ring is on top of the roof of Titan Towers.
Nah, man. That's how you win. You gotta throw him off the. That's how you win. You gotta throw him off
the building.
You gotta throw him off the building.
Is there any? Why do I get the feeling that if somebody throws Aleister off, he's just gonna do this as he comes back? Just the sit up.
I can see that.
All right. For me, I'm actually going to take a shot in the dark here. I'm going King Corbin.
Okay. Any particular reason why?
And my reason for saying King Corbin.
No, please, no.
When was the last time we had a two-time Money in the Bank briefcase winner?
Technically Carmella. Well, Carmella with an asterisk.
No, I mean two separate years. Like had one year and then that later in their career or exactly. I'm not saying they're going to do it because he was the last one, but what I'm saying is they're going to do it again because the last time Corbin had it, he got screwed over because of his own design. He did it himself. He did it to himself. Politics, whatever, all that crap. He lost it. King Corbin now is, bar none, one of the best heels WWE has. And not just because he's good at being a heel, but because he riles up the fans as only he can. So what I'm saying he's going to do is he's going to win the briefcase. And he is going to hold it for 6, 8, 10 months. We are going to get tired of him. The same way he was like, I'm the king, I'm King Corbin. He is going to rub it in our faces every single chance he gets that he won. Then when we least expect it, he is going to cash in and win. And that's going to be what's going to happen. So I'm going King Corbin.
Wow, I completely disagree. Hey,
Wow.
I think a certain somebody is going to cost Baron Corbin.
Okay.
I think a certain someone is going to cost bust down Baron Corbin.
Bust down Baron Corbin.
Oh,
Elias.
okay.
Okay.
I think Elias is going to show up and cost Baron Corbin somehow. I don't know. Maybe he hits him with the guitar and he falls off the building and he's out for like 2 weeks. He's like, I'm back. But wait, you guys aren't given health care. How the hell are you able to get up so fast? Forget it. Never mind.
AJ Styles pipes in, look, it's not as bad as you think it is. All right, I got buried alive.
I had to deal with Claire Lynch. No, Baron, you did. Why? No, shut up. No. But no, let me ask you this. Those pinball machines they showed us on SmackDown, someone's getting thrown into that, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. We've talked about who's going to win, but we're not talking about what the Money in the Bank matches are going to be like.
Well, first off, they're both happening at the same time, so it's going to be just pure chaos.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be great. But I say for the men's match, I'm going with Mr. Alan Jones, AJ Styles. I think AJ Styles is winning, yet it's winning Money in the Bank. He's credible enough to take on Drew, even with the briefcase. And I feel like they're going to try. They've been doing an awesome job with Drew lately. So I feel like they're going to have Drew have a pretty decent title reign, and get his ass. Maybe they even ask Brock Lesnar to come back. He faces Brock, but I think he beats Brock. He successfully retains against Brock Lesnar because Brock really likes Drew. But after that hellish beatdown, AJ cashes in, wins, and we get AJ versus Drew for a little bit.
That'd be cool. I'd like that. All right, so that's your prediction.
Okay.
Come on, Daddy. What you got?
This one's gonna be a little tough for me because there's so many. Like, at least 4 or 5 of the guys in this match I would pick to win in a heartbeat. But I'm gonna go with the complete wild card pick that no one would probably ever see coming because, well, not people will see this coming. But I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna surprise you guys. I'm saying Aleister Black wins the match.
Nope, he's muted. All right.
Wait, hold on. Question. Does Aleister Black get a special type of Money in the Bank briefcase after he wins it?
Yes, he gets like a cool like one based on like his jackets or whatnot, like the reptilian one.
The Necronomicon.
Yeah, there you go.
That would be kind of cool.
Okay, so but let me explain my reasoning. Okay,
Fine.
so it's one of those. Okay, we've explained. Baron Corbin, he could get taken out of the match just because of the freaking guitar. That's one way for our lives. AJ Styles, everyone at this point is predicting him to win because he freaking came back from the dead, for God's sakes. But keep in mind two things. One, before The Undertaker was a thing, he was feuding with Aleister Black, all right? So they have a little mini feud right there. And on top of that, this is more like going more in depth. This isn't based on the wrestling, but who is – so Aleister Black is a favorite in backstage by one particular person, the person that's booking Raw, Paul Heyman. All right, so they're gonna want some sort of like long-term plan to eventually get the belt on him. This would be the easy way, but it won't be like just straight up cashing in on Drew McIntyre. All right, they're gonna try to find some way to where Drew will lose the belt and Aleister Black will come in for the save. Not really the save.
Okay, I like that. It makes sense, but there's one thing that kind of doesn't sit necessarily well. Aleister Black, he's a face. He's one of the good guys. I wouldn't necessarily call him a nice guy or anything like that, but he technically is one of the good guys. Yes, but he is also one of those guys that kind of doesn't take shit whatsoever. His personality is not like a Rey Mysterio to where he's always going to be there to help to help out. He's not a no way Jose, even though I would love if he took on that gimmick for a day. Actually, yes, I would as well. But that's aside from the point. The point is, Aleister Black is one of those that he takes no shit. He's going to do it his own way, and he's going to do it how he wants. He's basically a miniature Drew McIntyre. Oh, no, I understand that, but that's the thing. You didn't let me finish. You didn't let me finish with it. Sorry, go on. It doesn't happen often, but WWE doesn't really have faces win Money in the Bank all that often. Like, I want to say the last one was Bayley, who ended up turning heel at some point. And the last one was Dean Ambrose. Oh my God, yeah. But that was for a specific short-term story. Yeah, so the last guy to win the belt and not turn heel somewhat immediately after was Redacted. So I appreciate that. So you're sticking with, I almost said Bray Wyatt. I'm sticking with Aleister Black based on the logic.
I'm sticking with Corbin.
Okay, what cameos are happening in this match? Somebody from NXT has to show up in the background. Let's see, who's in the match? Dominic's going to show up in the match at some point. I thought you meant Dominic Dijakovic. I was like, why the hell is he showing up? No, Dominic
I could see Cross having one of those weird moments where he's just kind of like in the background watching. And he's just like.
Dexter Loomis pops up. He doesn't say anything and just slithers off, distracting someone.
No, they go under the ring to try to get an extra ladder, and he's just sitting under there just like, hi.
Hi.
He's like the boogeyman with no freaking face paint or anything. He's just like.
Dexter Loomis is my favorite character in NXT right now.
Do you think we'll find the hacker room somewhere in Titan Tower?
That's what I want to think. I want there to be a segment where the hacker's talking, somebody opens the door, and they just turn to close the door. Close the goddamn door right now.
We can discuss this afterwards. We got to get through these predictions.
Right.
I don't want this thing to stop recording on us. And the last match, well, technically is with the other one, but, we're doing it as two. The Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. You got Asuka versus Shayna Baszler versus Nia Jax versus Dana Brooke versus Lacey Evans versus Carmella. I'm picking Asuka. And the reason I say that is because they're going to absolutely lose everything on a gamble if they use Nia Jax. Shayna Baszler doesn't need it. She's probably going to end up being in the title picture for a long time if she doesn't get the title. And then none of the other three women in the match actually make me believe they can win it. They're all good performers. I just don't see it. So I'm going with Asuka.
Alex. Okay, that's not a bad pick. Not a bad pick. But I actually am going to go with Shayna. Here's the thing. I feel like in my opinion they kind of screwed up with the Becky Asuka feud. I would have preferred if Becky remained winless against Asuka for just a little bit longer. But that being said, though, I feel like Shayna got bitched out at Mania, not necessarily because of a bad booking decision, but in the sense of they're thinking, well, we had her lose. They had her lose via luck. Like, Becky got lucky in that WrestleMania match. Mm-hmm. So Shayna could be like, you know what? you got lucky. You beat me, but I've got this briefcase. So anytime I want, like she would be one of those ones where she might tease the idea of, oh, I could give you a week's head's notice, so I could still kick your butt. But they might try to tease that, and in the end, she just goes for like maybe brutalizing or terrorizing Becky at one point, and then she finally cashes in and wins. Honestly, I don't see them doing the thing where somebody cashes in on Becky and Becky still wins. I don't think they would do that at this point. So overall, my pick is Shayna.
You guys are probably gonna hate me for my pick, but
don't say Dana.
I'm not saying Dana. No, I'm not saying Dana.
Carmella.
I'm not saying Carmella.
I like Carmella.
I like Carmella, but I don't think she's gonna win the third time. I'm actually gonna go with Nia Jax. All right.
I had a feeling.
Now, there's a reason for this, okay? It's called long-term unintentional storytelling, okay? Keep in mind, all right, how long has Becky Lynch has had this reign for, 390-something days, I think?
It feels like so much longer at this
point. It does. But what jump-started this whole entire, BS crap about, the man and all this stuff? It started with Nia Jax knocked her Becky Lynch's nose in and made her bleed that one segment, all right? Nia Jax is going to have that kind of holding over her head. I think they already did have a match, but it's kind of one of those like, I've been, training, I deserve the spotlight that I deserve that you seem to have gotten from all this. So
I don't mean to cut you off, but they didn't have a match. Becky just punched Nia backstage, knocked her down, and pretty much talked trash, and that's the most they've ever interacted since then.
There you go. So it's one of those, now that Nia Jax is healthy again, she's going to have that briefcase, and it's going to basically create this whole entire story of Nia Jax basically getting the revenge for freaking Becky Lynch of having all this, stuff when Nia Jax feels like she should be having that spotlight.
So, Nia.
Yes, Nia.
All right, well, that's great. Now we're going to get the drinking rules for this.
There's drinking rules?
Yes, there are drinking rules.
I don't think I have enough alcohol for it.
Take a sip every time there's a title change, every time there is a heel turn, and every time Michael Cole.
Baby!
Every time Michael Cole.
Sorry.
Every time he, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Do you want us to die of alcohol poisoning?
I said one sip.
Do you want us to die of alcohol poisoning?
Take 2 sips. Did I say a sip for a heel turn or a face turn?
Yes. Okay.
Take 2 sips for a title change. Take 2 sips for a cash in of the Money in the Bank, barring that they don't happen at the end of the night. And take 2 sips if somebody gets put through a table. Down your entire drinks. If somebody gets thrown off the top of the building.
No, that's gonna happen. We can't have that one be down on the drinks.
Yes.
No.
Because they could possibly throw us a wrench and say it's not gonna happen. So entire drink. Down your entire drink if Nia Jax wins the Money in the Bank briefcase.
I don't know if I want to get drunk because of that.
I really don't think she's winning. I know a lot of people are pissed and think Nia's gonna win, and they're like, "Oh, Kairi's not in the match. Asuka isn't gonna win, and Sasha's not it. So Nia's winning." I'm like, that's not that. None of those things have anything to do with any of those things. Oh, people are gonna hate me for saying.
And down. This is gonna be one that's just cut down all the alcohol that you have. If there's a clip that involves Roman Reigns, but he's edited out of it.
I was gonna say down all your drinks if Roman Reigns shows up.
He shows up, gets attacked by the Fiend, and the next thing he says is, "Hey, what time? Oh, you don't rewatch? It's Roman Reigns time."
Alrighty, but
baby.
But that would have been our predictions / podcast on the 2020 Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Will we see some craziness? Probably. Will we enjoy the show? More than likely. Will we talk about it anymore after the show? Probably not. Are we insane for doing this? Absolutely. But with that being said, you guys,
let the audience know where they can follow you and shit.
You guys can follow me on Twitter. That's all I got on is wrestling with regret. What the wrestling?
There you go.
The link will be down in the description. If you want to follow my gaming channel, you can follow me at Jargon Joe. The link for that will be in the description. I'm also on Twitter at Jargon Joe, and I'm on Facebook, Jargon Joe. There you go. You guys tell them where they can find you.
You're next, boy.
I mean, you guys can follow me, but I'll call the police if you stay too close behind. No.
Shut your ass.
No. Muted again. Go, Foster. Where can they find you?
He's about to. There we go.
Come on. Let me at least do my simple Twitter plug.
Just go.
All right. My Twitter is at Nathan_D Ragland. That's all you need to follow me.
Classic Nattery Production.
The link is in my Twitter, so.
Yeah, and you can follow me at RafiBomb316 on Twitter. You can follow me at Flexin without the G personally on Instagram. And you can I'm not giving out my fan fiction account. Oh, that's no. Those
not
fans
after last time.
Those fans stay separate. I need to protect those fans, not my other fans.
Are you sure about that?
And you can also subscribe to the YouTube channel Anime Egotist. But we surpassed our goal a while ago. We had 15 subscribers when we were on the road to 14. So I don't need any of you leches following me. You think I give a damn if you subscribe to my channel? No. In fact, I said road to 14 subscribers. Whoever the 15 subscribers, unsubscribe. We only want 14 people.
All right, Big E.
It just pisses me off.
All right, Big E, calm down.
Baby.
But with that, you guys, hope you guys enjoy the pay-per-view. Hope you guys have a lot of fun watching this video. If you actually managed to stay through and be able to follow all the crap that we said, then good on you. I really appreciate it. But with that being said, I've been Jay Sean.
I've been Natty.
I've been Foster, even though I'd rather be somebody else.
Lord have mercy. And that's all for What the Wrestling. Hope y'all have a good one. Bye.
Hasta luego, amigos.